What's up, everybody? Welcome back to SM Disc Golf Production. My name is Jonidar. I'm the TD of Oslo Tour Stovner, which you're gonna see here in just a few moments. We've had a good front 13 with our feature card Philo Brathwaite, Nikko Locastro, Møkkelgjerd, and Haugen, and we're in for the yellow layout here at the special tournament layout at Stovner Disc Golf Park. And in front, in the lead, is Mr. Albatross himself, Philo Brathwaite, with a -6. We got Nikko trailing just on -4. Møkkelgjerd, the local hero, on -3. And Haugen on +12 in FPO. Hole 1, 113 meters. You see the basket there is guarded by a few trees. What you don't see on the video here is all the wires going from those power lines and all those lights. That's actually playing a psychological big trick on the mind. But what you're gonna see they're gonna do, it's most likely something that will fade in about 100 meters and hopefully roll up. Yeah, just like that. It looks very nice. Fades off maybe a little bit early. Nope, doesn't. My bad. And another green hit for Espen. No, for Philo. As we have Espen here. Slight hyzer flip. And one-ups Philo there with a bullseye hit. It's got to be a tough forehand hole. Trine, if you didn't see the front 13, is a forehand predominant player. So you're going to see quite a few different shots. Nikko pulls out the most stable thing he gets in the disc, and unfortunately hits a tree. I'm gonna have a long tester for his birdie. Good approach from Trine. As you can see, a lot of branches, so not a whole lot that Nikko could have done there differently. Solid birdie for Philo. Good putt for Trine. So Stovner Disc Golf Park is one of the oldest courses from one of the oldest clubs in Norway, and is the hardest course and probably the most promoted course in Oslo as well. What we play here is a combination of Stovner Disc Golf Park and Forsheim Disc Golf Park, which are two very different courses, which you're gonna see in a few holes. But we are now on the open part, and hole 15. It's 190 meter double mando on an elevated basket, and gotta say it's actually the second hardest hole on the course. No, sorry, my bad. It's one of the least birdied holes on the whole course, which you're gonna understand in a minute. It's just a tricky shot, even though it's just a straight shot first. Let it fade to the left. If you're throwing 120 meters on an average, it shouldn't be a very much of a problem. And Philo is doing a textbook here. Very nice drive, and it's gonna have a green hit for on the elevated basket. Espen comes up a little bit short, a little bit surprising, but when he's on his putt, he is known to making those. Yeah, you can hear Philo in the background there saying, "Hey, girl," and I gotta say, an impressive forehand drive from Trine there once again. And a crush with that overstable driver from Nikko, and looks like a bullseye hit for him. Flexing back, good approach there from Trine. Yeah, that's one of those bonus putts if you make them, if you ever see them. Oh, yeah, I can understand that. Can relate to that. Good putt from Trine. Makes her par. and then it looks like it's gonna be at least 3 pars and yeah, most likely a birdie for Nikko here. Yeah, very nice. Makes one of the few. If you get a birdie here, you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna make some strokes on the rest of the field. So Oslo Tour is a tournament series which focuses mainly on amateur players. We got about 65% of all the players in the amateur divisions, and we feel quite privileged to have names like Philo, Nikko. We got Gregg Barsby here as well, playing with some of the best in Norway as well as some of the amateurs. So great to see them come here and tear up our courses. We love that. Heading into hole 16, 129 meters. It's a fading down hole, which is a hard birdie. Let's put it like that. You're gonna have to give it some more width than that. Oh, it comes up short actually. You gotta make sure it fades down before that basket, and quite a lot before it. This looks good. Oh, a little bit too stable. And this is something you're gonna see from a lot of players. Just fades out a little bit early or a little bit far down, and the pathway and beyond is OB, so quite tricky. Yeah, if this gets back, coming back a little bit late, but it gets a little bit of a skip as well, and very nice drive from Espen there. Trina is slipping on a tee pad, but it looks like it's okay. She's doing the only thing sensible in my mind, at least for her approach. Forehand one that will hopefully cut roll a little bit, making sure it doesn't go down OB. If you hit the cage here, or if you get a disc that stands up, you're gonna be, in worst case, looks at something that will roll OB. Come on, dude. And in the very, yeah, that's gonna be something you're gonna feel that you lost, no doubt. Yeah, Espen using as much metal as he can on the way to his birdie. So you can see both, talking about using metal. You can see both Philo and Nikko using the Gur disc golf bag with an opening in the back, which was donated by Gur disc golf when they got here. You can check it out at gurdiscgolf.com. They're also a sponsor of this tournament. And the same as Latitude 65, which actually donated a few daggers to Nikko before this tournament, which is so far used quite well. I gotta say. Hole 17, it's 96 meters. You're gonna see a slight turnover mid-range from these guys, or a straight shot, keeping it tight to that to those poles. You're gonna hit this green, or that's not right. You're gonna approach this green quite low because of all the low-hanging branches, and Nikko just doesn't give it enough angle and goes a little bit too early off. Philo not too happy about that, but yeah, on circle's edge. Classic result here is turning something over a little bit too much, heading OB to the pathway or beyond, or a little bit like Nikko did and not giving enough, and ending up in a tricky situation. And Nikko is running this. Wow! I can't even state how ballsy that putt is. He's putting directly towards OB. If he doesn't hit anything there, he's going OB and taking a 4. That is a very impressive putt from Nikko. World class. And that's going to be what you're going to call a bonus birdie for him after that drive. As we see Philo cleans up his par, we get a revisit of that 15-meter death putt using both the top and the bottom of the basket, and picks up a stroke on Philo alongside with Espen there. Philo is just a throw before the rest of the guys. So we are on hole 18, par 4, 203 meters. It's a triple mando between those pillars and under the bridge before an approach towards the green. The uncut area to the left there is OB as well. And this is actually this is a very tricky hole. It's the second hardest hole on the course, averaging 5.35 throws on average, as we see Espen laying down a great roller, which I think is the best play here for distance at least. A straight shot or a slight flexing one through, or a forehand if you want to be super safe is also not too bad. And Nikko is laying that one down a little bit too early, and it's still going to have about 130, 140 meters from the drop zone. Philo sneaks that through just past the drop zone. So, and here as well, as we talked about on the red layout, the tee pad is slightly sloping upwards, making it a little bit harder. Tina, very solid. She's going to be on the drop zone. Great forehand drive. She's pulling out that sexy Sexton Firebird. She's playing her game. Playing to her strength. Not much more she can do. And a rip from Nikko. Needs to get back. It does, and it's going to have a good look for his par save there. Ooh, that's heading OB. Yeah, cutting down a little bit too early. So be on the path where you saw those two guys walking, and also on the road to the left. Standstill from Espen, leaving it a little bit short perhaps, but not too bad. There's a big tree to the right of the basket which stops those long, high Spikeiser approaches to the basket. Classic AVR for Philo. Laying that on 4 meters, no problem. Now let's see if the dagger is working for Nikko. Yeah. Laying that a little bit too low. Oh, talking about low, but just high enough. Espen sneaks that in for his birdie, and is one of the few to card a birdie here on this hole. And Philo cleaning up for his par. No problem. We got Marius in the background there filming second cam. And I gotta say, the production here from SM Disc Golf Production is of very, very high class. Only beaten by Jomas in my opinion, but I'm not biased. So let's get into hole 19. 87 meters. It's a tournament hole. It's a double mando between those two birches. It's too big. You're gonna see a turnover backhand or a forehand towards the green here. What is really tricky is actually the pin placement. It's a guarded basket, so a skip and roll like that is gonna be perfect for Espen. And you know it's a forehand hole when even Philo is pulling one out. Cutting a little bit too close, but yeah, not. It's gonna have a alright look for his par, I think. Looked like Nikko had the right line there, but a little bit too stable. This is coming up a little bit short. Yeah. Looks like Trina has a little bit of the same problem. She's gonna end up actually a bit more tricky than just pulling that one a little bit too downwards. And yeah, you can see those trees surrounding the basket preventing Nikko from doing a straight putt, and Philo from doing a hyzer. And this is really the goal of the hole. It's a temporary hole just for this tournament, combining two courses, and Nikko doesn't like the hole. So getting that one over with, heading into the next hole. Philo cleans up, and we're gonna see Trina and Espen doing the very same thing. A little bit of construction going on here as well, which was a little bit concerning for the TD, but worked out nicely, as we see Espen with a picture perfect drive. Unfortunately couldn't capitalize and ended up with a par. So it's tied now with Philo after a very good start, and he's gonna need his momentum going into hole 20. It's a par 4. This is the corridor. It's a narrow corridor. You want to have a mid-range, a putter going just above this very place, end up by that fallen log. On either side there is 2 corridors towards the pin, but this is the hardest hole on the course, averaging 5.55 throws per player, only 3 birdies throughout the whole field this day 1, which is hard. It's rough. Oh, and Espen, yeah. When you get down there, there is no secret corridor. There is no secret magic, local magic you can use. You just gotta pitch out and grab your par or bogey. This one's looking nice. Yeah, and he's gonna have a look for that first corridor. Forehand or backhand turnover, as Trina hits a little bit early.
There you go.
Not a bad tree kick, that one. Pushing forward, that's good.
Oh yeah, dude.
Wow. Yeah, I need to I need to cancel my first one saying there is no local magic there, because that was a great out from Espen. As we see the forehand from Philo just falling off a little bit too early. So I didn't see if that flexed back, but she was on something there. He's gonna have an easy up for his par. I don't think there is much more you can do. It's a tricky pin placement as well, just to make insult to the damage for anyone here. And Nikko hitting one of those late branches, unfortunately, leaving him circle's edge. Great up by Trine. Yeah, it's not a whole lot more you can do. You can try to run it, but of course you run the risk of having a 20-30 meter roll away from there, so... Yeah, low left from Espen. Look a little bit like a layup. Highly doubt it was, though. He's an aggressive player, so... Talking about aggressive, Nikko Locastro with one of the only 3 birdies throughout this day 1 on this hole. Great play by Nikko. And par in bogey for Philo and Trine. Nikko, no stranger of making those long putts. And cutting yet another one here in Forsheimer. Hole 21, 90 meters. It's quite up hills, and in the end the pin is also on a big rock, so you're gonna throw something fairly straight or with a late fade, mid-range most likely. And there is actually a flex forehand line which is quite open as long as you get past the first 5 trees to the left of the tee pad. So we'll see how the guys solve this one.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Go.
Not an obvious birdie line to put it on. Both Philo and Nikko laying that those one outs on high lines, which means they're not going to go up there on top of the rock. Early tree from Espen and his Thor. I think here we're going to have the forehand flex. That stay clean. Oh, very last tree she needed to miss before getting up there. Yeah, that's a signature move from Espen there, sort of the ultimate bounce approach. You're gonna see Everett Jenkins doing a little bit of the same, but Espen have it even more profound in his style. And big putt from Nikko. I don't think the camera does it justice here. It's quite high. You see here, Philo can capitalize on his, even he's closer. So it's a big elevated difference, and also low hanging branches. So good putt from Nikko. Good par same from Trine, which has gotten back in his swing. I like to think. And easy par for Espen as well, as we get another replay. Oh, just kissing those low hanging branches there and going in and tying Philo with that. Hole 22, par 3, 90 meters. Once again, it's a big elevation difference from the tee pad to the pin. We're talking 12 to 15 meters here. You're gonna see these guys going with fairway drivers, trying to turn them over and getting to flex back in before the pin, most likely. Straight shot is also an option, but making the gap smaller than necessary. And there you have it, turning it over a little bit low. That looks more like it from Philo. Hitting one of those, not one of those, but one of the many threes on this course. And if this can stay clean, that's very nice. He's about 8 meters from the pin. Gonna have a straddle look at it. There is actually a route to the left on the pathway, which is is doable. It's not a birdie look route, but it's quite an easy par. So we got Nikko here. Oh. Gotta say, when Nikko is on point, he is one of the best putters in the world, if not the best, at his low straddling putts. Too bad for Philo as well, leaving that one a little bit too low. And yeah, birdie all day for Espen there. Yeah, Trina got a falling putt there on the foot fault. Little side mark on that one. In Norway, foot faults are not called upon very often, so good to see that being caught on tape here. Playing with the rules. Double bogey there for Trina. Probably not that happy about that. But moving on, as we see the attempt from Philo. So a little fun fact about hole 9, which you just saw. Hole 22. It's only 2 birdies throughout the day 1 here, so you saw one of the 2 on that hole. Heading into hole 23, another 24. It's just 60 meters. The gap, the fairway is to the right. You're gonna see a big, not a big hyzer, but a steep hyzer release on a putter or something overstable. You might even look at fairway drivers just to get that skip up on the stones in the back there, but the backhand hyzer is absolutely the play to go here. There is a gap straight ahead or to the left, but that's a little bit too it's too much jeopardy in my opinion. As we see Philo going with his Thor and doing that perfectly, just 3-4 meters from the pin. And if that can get through, it's a branch, gets kicked down. So you don't see it from this camera angle, but I think actually Trina got saved by the branch there. It's quite a long way down in the back if you pass the basket. So, oh, yeah, half a meter longer for Espen there. He's gonna be looking at a huge comebacker. Nikko back with a nice birdie. Good comebacker for Espen. And a routine birdie for Philo. Yeah, this is one of the baskets which are more used for kids playing and climbing on it than actually disc golf, unfortunately. So, and as I gotta say, I forgot to mention that in before, it's actually the second easiest hole on the yellow layout. We are on hole 24. Sorry, hole 25. No, I'm messing around. 24. It's about 85 meters. A tight gap to start with, and you gotta be either over or under the rock that we just droned by, because if you hit that rock, you're gonna have a roll away to the right, and that's gonna mean par or more for you.
About the best thing that could have happened on the second tree.
That's good. Yeah, as Nikko said, that's probably the best thing that's gonna happen on the second throw. As we see Philo. Ooh, another good tree for the group here. Stops that one from going way into the forest. Oh, that's gonna be interesting to see if it stopped. If it didn't stop, he's gonna have quite a few throws before he get up there. Yeah, a lot of room to the left there, and shouldn't be a problem to get up there to save a par from Trine.
More luck.
Yeah, that's almost a kick in. Yeah, hard to see the disc here even. You can imagine what Espen was looking at there from his point of view. I like the sort of floaty style of Trine's putts. Ooh, good run from Espen. Trine has good distance control on her forehand approaches, which is really a strength of hers. So, ooh. As we see the only birdie on this hole by Philo, tapping that in. Center chain, no problem. Heading into hole 25, I'd say it's about 85 meters. This is absolutely, in my opinion, a forehand hole. You have to go straight toward this tree, over those juniper bushes, and turn right towards the pin. There is a back alley which you don't see from the tee or anything on the right hand side, but a forehand or a very late turn backhand mid-range is the shot here. Philo going backhand. When he's going in, deep, but he might actually not be too bad. And this is the shot right here. Enough height. That's a stable disc. Yeah. Nikko not that happy about it, but I think he got a green hit there, so that's not too shabby in this. Yeah, talking about good kicks. Trine gets a lucky break there as well. Espen. Oh, that looks tasty. Actually, looks a little bit too deep now that I think about it, but great throw by Espen. Comes in a little bit too early for Trine. Oh, yeah, look at this. Philo got a surprisingly open view for his putt. Goes past, but I think that's much better than I feared from the tee. And great putt from Trine. Center chain. Yeah, green hit from Nikko. Great drive. Center hard, no problem. Espen. Yeah, sneaks that over as well. Great birdie. You don't see a whole lot of birdies on this hole, so good work by the feature card here. Good par save from Philo as well. As we get that. Great putt from Trine once again. Double fist pump. Well deserved. Get that good feeling before the last hole. Hole 26, 75 meters. You're gonna have to see a S-line drive here, either with a mid-range or a putter. And the pin is placed in a way, like you've seen before, that it's very challenging if you go past it. So a lot of low-hanging branches as well, which is going to come in play, unfortunately. So let's see how the feature card is going to solve this. That tree is removed after a fire here. Not a natural fire, if you know what I mean. As we see Nikko as well, bringing up the Thor. Spectacular fashion. And wow, that's a lot of skip on this wooded course. Skips past. Not enough angle on that for Espen. Actually getting 3 Thors here from the MPO players. Maybe a little bit too much angle for Philo there, but he's going to be within range. Sawing that one off a little bit too early to the left. Gonna have a very challenging approach. Yeah, it's a lot of trees, a lot of branches. Tough place to be. Just a big heisering floaty putt from Espen there. Great solved. Trine doing the only sensible thing there, just laying that up. Yeah, a lot of power needed to go into that one, and just came a little bit too short. As Philo has the only look for birdie here. Almost a falling putt, but no problem. Finishing his round with a birdie, and have actually played with just 1 bogey throughout the whole first day here, which is quite sensational. And throughout, he's survived Forshaman, he's survived the forest here with no bogeys, OBs. That's gotta say, impressive stuff from Philo right there. As we see Nikko and Trine cleans up there. Par and bogey. Want to thank you guys for watching. If you like what you saw, if you like what you heard, please go into patreon.com and support SM Disc Golf. Everything you can give is very much appreciated. As we see Philo Brathwaite leading off from day 1 here at Oslo Tour Stovner 2017. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Jonidar, and I will see you guys quite shortly here at SM Disc Golf Productions with day 2 of Oslo Tour Stovner 2017.